Hey guys, welcome to Nightingale and Sparrow. Unfortunately, Sparrow is no longer with us, not on the show, but just here in Texas. She's off doing school things, further advancing her education and whatnot. Or whatnot. And whatnot. We have some new people that we have on the show. Duke, Suede, and hopefully soon, you. So let us know if you want to be on the show, and we will get you on here. Alright, I'm going to start off with a story from Duke.
Alright, one time, when I was a young boy, my brothers and I were playing, and I'd get on their nerves a little bit here and there. And so one time, they decided they'd get back at me. Now my parents would never let them hit me or do anything to me. So this one particular day, they took me, they grabbed me aggressively, like a bear! And they took me and they put me in the room, and they put me right smack dab in a baby chair. And I wiggled around a little bit, and I fell over, and so they picked me up, helped me up a little bit, and they grab duct tape, and they stick it around my arms, real like that, and I stick it around this arm like that, and around my legs. They take a sock, a smelly sock, like it smelled like bum hole, and they put it in my mouth, like I had feces in my mouth. Ah! Ah! And they tied a rope around my mouth, and they tied it a lot of times, and many times like this, and they kept going, and I kept going, and they wrap it around there, and so by this time I'm basically dead, and they take a mask, luckily they're nice enough that it had a front part I could see out of it, but it was still closed off, so no air could come out of it, and they put it over my head, and they take me, they shove me out in the garage, where they put the cars, not children, the cars. They must have been mistaken. I'm not a car, I was a child. I was probably 8 at the time. And they put me out there in the garage, and then they turn the lights off. Black, like a bear! It was black, everywhere. Black! And they shut the door, and they lock it real tight so I can't get out. And they left me out there for a few hours until my mom came home.
That was a terrifying tale, but he's still alive and looking better than ever. Next we have a story from Suede, so buckle up.
Alright, so one time, my first day of high school, pretty big day for me. I was a little bit nerdy guy. I'd spent all middle school at a private school. This was my first day riding a bus, very first day. Anything could happen, I wasn't sure. My parents took pictures and everything. It was a whole 9 yards, baby. I only had one friend, my neighbor. So I get picked up, and then he gets picked up after me. And so we get on the bus, and we're riding along, and we're talking about all the girls we're gonna get, all the numbers. I'm gonna have more numbers by the end of the day than you, and I had more numbers at the end of the day than you did, of course, and for good reason. We get going, and he starts to mention that he starts to have some sort of indigestion, some sort of rumbling in the tummy, and so he's just making these faces of just terror and just. Anyway, we get going, and I'm so zealous, man. I'm so stoked for first freaking day of high school. We get going, and he says, "Uh-oh." He says, "Hey, go ask the bus driver for some tissues." I was like, "Why?" He's like, Go ask the bus driver for some tissues." I'm like, "Why? Why do you need tissues? We're just going to school, man." He's like, "Go ask the bus driver for some tissues. I just crap my pants." I said, "Oh." I walk up to the front of the bus, real shyly, just walking up. "Hey, Mr. Bus Driver, do you have some tissues?" So he grabs his box of tissues and he hands it to me, and he's like, "How many do you need?" So I just grab it and I go, I just take this whole wad of tissues because I wasn't sure what was going on with this guy. So I go to the back of the bus, the very, very back, because we were cool kids, right? And I just gave him this massive wad of paper and substances. And he takes them, and I look the other way. And, "How's it going over there?" Good. So he gets himself cleaned up, and he says, "Hey, can you see anything?" I responded, "Yes, I can see everything." So he decided that it was just gonna be best just to take off his pants and wear them backwards and tell people that he was cooking a lot of eggs that morning, and just kind of decided to cook them on himself. And that was it. What I learned that day is if you want to get the girls, you gotta leave the crap at home.
Well, that was another terrifying story. Jeez, no good stories out there that have happy endings and fluffy little critters just singing with you. Unfortunately, mine's no better. This is the story of the one time my dad and I decided to go camping. We did it once, never did it again, and for good reason. I was maybe 10 years old, and my dad heard about this thing called the father-son campout. So we packed some spicy hot Cheetos, put the little TV in the van, put out some blankets. We were camping like real Americans. So we get to the camp, and I see all these kids there, and I think, awesome, I'm in the wilderness. There's a bunch of kids my age. We're gonna go, and we're gonna have Digimon adventures. But there were no Digimon adventures to be had. These kids were lame. They could not tell you any characters from any cartoons, because they weren't allowed to watch TV. And they ate healthy snacks. What the heck? We're in the wilderness. We kill things and eat it and maybe put some cheese on it. Helps the flavor. So, I meet one kid, Aaron Green, and he's just a cool kid. We start talking about Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z. He Kamehameha'd me, and I loved it. So Aaron sees this huge tree, and me, being a professional tree climber for about 10 years now, I started when I was about a little baby, and I just never stopped. This tree was something out of Lord of the Rings, man. It was like this giant ant begging us to explore him. So we start climbing, and we're climbing, and it's great. And Aaron's a little faster than me, and I'm a little bit chubbier than him, but I still made it up there. And we surveyed the land. Oh, we were gonna conquer it all. And then something happened. Let me just put it this way. Fat brown kid in a tree, weak branches do not go together. The branch gave way, and I just started falling, hitting every branch on the way down, except for one. Say, not today, young hobbits! No, today you live! And then, just as quickly as if reevaluating holding such a heavy child, and I plummeted to the ground, smashing my face. All the other kids laughed. My dad grabbed some dirt, rubbed it on my face, and said, "It's okay. It's better." Rubbing dirt in wounds, by the way? It's bad. I got an infection on my face. Helps the flavor. And that was the last time I ever went camping. Now that you've had a chance to take a look at some backstories of our new cast members, as well as myself, we hope that you will send in a story of your own. We want to hear it. We want to hear anything exciting, crazy, funny. I don't care. That's happened to you. Send it in. If you want, we'll put it on the show. Or we'll get you on the show to tell it yourself. Next week, we are going to do our time episode. That is still going to happen. Things have just been pushed back a little bit. But I promise, it'll be up soon and it'll be better than ever. So be on the lookout for it. If you have any ideas, any suggestions, as always, send it in. Message us and we'll get it done. Or if you want to be on the show, let me know, and we'll do our best. So from us here at Nightingale and Sparrow, I'm Sparrow, and I'll see you next week.